A little over a year ago, I made a series of 6 videos in French where I built a guitar from a pre-routed body. But since these videos were in French, I removed them from my channel. But it was a cool project where I made a lot of mistakes, but I learned a lot. And if you're a curious person or someone who just wants to try a similar project one day, watch this video to see all the mistakes you could avoid making. Just don't be surprised, we're going back in time in terms of knowledge, experience and tools. So, I bought a pre-routed body online and made a small paper template to find the design shape I wanted. From there, I cut the body with a jigsaw. That was my first mistake. A jigsaw doesn't cut precisely at 90 degrees, so it requires a lot of sanding to fix the shape. What I should have done is take my paper template and duplicate it on a piece of MDF to make a template. From there, I could have duplicated my shape with a router and a flush trim bit. Moving on. In addition to this body, I bought a 22 thread neck from another website. However, this neck didn't have the small cut on the 22nd thread of the treble to match the 25.5 inches scale length. So, when I put the neck on the body, I had a longer scale length than 25.5, resulting in incorrect intonation. That was my second mistake. I had to recalculate this. The solution I found was to use a Tune-o-matic bridge to move the bridge forward, and here was my third mistake. A Tune-o-matic has to be installed at an angle to accommodate the low E string, which requires more length for proper intonation. At that time I didn't know this, but in fact only the high E string is at 25.5. The others are a bit further back. During intonation, I had to move the saddles as far back as possible to achieve proper guitar intonation. It worked out, but it could have resulted in an unplayable guitar. While on the topic of installing the Tune-o-matic, always double check your measurements before diving in. When I drilled for the Tune-o-matic, my caliper was not properly adjusted and indicated a diameter of 17mm. So I started drilling, but quickly realized it was way too large. I needed to drill at 12mm, a big mistake. I had to fill the hole with resin and wood filler to repair it. Fortunately, I planned to paint the guitar, so it was okay. But with a natural finish, the issue would have been visible. That was my fourth mistake. Next, I finished shaping my body with a belly cut and an arm contour, and I added a quarter round chamfer. I moved on to the pegboard, and once again, the lack of proper planning made the task difficult. I had no idea of the design I wanted, and I spent a lot of time drawing and redrawing. I remembered that I had a jazz bass metal plate lying around, and I used it as part of my pegboard. After I designed the shape, I had to route into the guitar body to integrate the knobs and switches under the jazz bass plate. Again, not making a template was a mistake. After drilling with a large bit to remove material, I slipped on the body, leaving big marks that I had to repair with wood filler again. And I free-handed the root. I was lucky not to go further than the limit, but it was very close. I strongly recommend making an MDF template. And that's what I did for my pegboard. Finally, I copied my design onto an MDF template. And I quickly reproduced its shape on a pegboard blank board. But I've been too quick. That was completely stupid. I didn't take the time to prepare and have a clean workspace. So, naturally, I slipped and broke my template. I had to start over, making an MDF template and ordering a new pegboard blank. Lesson learned? Well, partially. For the second attempt, I took the time to create a good work environment. Everything was going well until I rushed again, chamfering the pegboard at a 45 degrees angle. I installed my router bit at 45 degrees with the same settings as the previous bit, leading for disaster, of course. I broke my template and plastic plate again. I had to start my pegboard for the third time, but that was a good one. When you take your time, it works much better. That was my sixth mistake, rushing. Even if you have the right methods, if you're not organized and you are rushing, you're headed for failure. Finally, I succeeded, and to my surprise, the fit with the jazz bass plate was absolutely perfect. Then I worked on the headstock. I kept the shape I wanted with my jigsaw. and I went straight to drilling holes for the tuners. I installed the tuners and well, see for yourself. Yes, I didn't leave space for the tuner and so I had to go back to the jigsaw stage to fix my headstock. That was my 7th mistake, but honestly, we could group it without rushing. I did a test fit to see if everything was fine and I could move to the painting stage. I will go quickly here because I have a detailed video that covers the entire process of painting this guitar, and yes, it's in English, so it's still available. Feel free to check it out. I would just say that painting a guitar requires a lot of sanding. Overall, strangely, the painting went well. I only made a mistake with a big drip, but with sanding and a new layer of paint, it was good to go. Be patient if you want to paint your guitar, because when the paint is finished, you will need to sand again, but this time with a very thin grit and then polish the guitar. One day, I will make a video on a very simple guitar painting method, accessible for beginners, so subscribe to not miss this video. And finally, I did all the assembly, adjustment and soldering. For the electronic, this guitar is very special because it doesn't have one jack output, but 2 independent outputs. Under the neck pickup, there is actually one pickup under the low string and one under the A string. This allows you to plug this output into an octave pedal and play bass and guitar at the same time. Very handy in a small band, like Guitar Drums Only for example. Stay to the demo section at the end to see it in action. So, what do you think of this pickup and the electronic concept? I hope you learned a lot from watching this video because for me at the time it was difficult but very instructive. I hope it inspires you and removes any fear of starting your own project. Don't be afraid of trying. Even if you make mistakes, you will be so proud of yourself. Most importantly, have fun. That's the most important thing. Subscribe to see all my next videos. I have a lot of exciting things coming up. And it would be awesome to reach 1000 subscribers. Thank you and see you soon.